Welcome to another deep dive, everybody. This time we are taking a deep dive into the intelligence age.
And wow, is this one packed with fascinating ideas?
It really is. Published just last year, and already it feels like a roadmap to the future. I mean, we're talking personalized AI teams, the kind that could help us with everything. And I mean everything from managing our health to, well, who knows, maybe even writing a hit song.
It's interesting how the source material connects this future, this almost sci-fi future, to something we all kind of take for granted now,
Mm.
the computer chip.
The humble computer chip, right?
Yeah, like it reminds us that the foundation for this intelligence age, it's already here.
And it is kind of mind-blowing when you really think about it. I mean, what are we talking about? We're
Hmm.
manipulating sand at the atomic level, adding in impurities, arranging it all just so to create these insanely complex devices.
It's true.
It really does feel like a sort of magic, doesn't it?
It does. It does. And then when you consider the sheer computing power that's packed into these tiny chips,
Yeah.
it's mind-boggling. And that's the engine, right? That's the engine driving the whole digital world.
Yeah.
And it's evolving, it's evolving at an exponential rate.
Which brings us to, I guess, the heart of the intelligence age, right? This idea of deep learning. I hear that phrase everywhere now, but I'll be honest, sometimes I feel like I don't quite grasp the full implications.
Well, deep learning, it's all about algorithms, right, that can learn from data. But what makes it revolutionary, really revolutionary, is that it can learn from any kind of data you throw at it. So take medicine, for example.
Sure.
Imagine algorithms, right, that can analyze millions of patient records and medical images. They could detect diseases way earlier and more accurately than any human doctor could.
That is, wow. So it's not just about processing faster. It's about a whole new level of insight. Like almost like having an army of brilliant minds working on these problems, these health problems around the clock.
Exactly, exactly. And this goes so much further than medicine. Think about climate change. Think about how deep learning could analyze climate models, maybe even predict extreme weather events.
Or help us develop more efficient energy sources, right?
Exactly. The potential applications, they really are limitless.
Limitless. So we're talking AI helping us in our daily lives, super-powered AI tackling global challenges.
Yeah.
But this excerpt keeps coming back to this idea of accessibility. How do we make sure everyone benefits from this technology, not just a select few?
Right. And that's the critical point. The source really emphasizes widely available and affordable computing power. If we don't have that, the intelligence age could make existing inequalities even worse. You can imagine a world where only the wealthy have access to these transformative tools.
Right. It's not just about developing the technology. It's about creating a system, a structure where everyone can participate and benefit. We're talking about laying the groundwork for a whole new kind of society. And speaking of a new society, this excerpt paints a pretty optimistic picture of the future, doesn't it? I mean, they're talking about, what, colonizing space, solving the mysteries of the universe.
It's bold, for sure. But the source seems to suggest that with AI as our partner, we could see scientific breakthroughs that would have been unimaginable, maybe even impossible, just a few decades ago.
I can barely wrap my head around it. Think about it. A world where we figure out clean energy, cure Alzheimer's, maybe even find life on other planets.
It's a pretty incredible vision.
It is almost too much to take in. But, there has to be a flip side here, right?
Yeah.
I mean, are there potential downsides to all this optimism? Because it sounds like we're handing over a lot of power to these machines.
It's true. We have to remember that AI is a tool. Just like any tool, it can be used for good or for bad.
Right.
The key is responsibility, responsible development, responsible deployment. We have to make sure, absolutely sure, that AI systems align with our values and that we have safeguards in place to prevent, well, unintended consequences.
So we have to be thinking about ethics, the ethical implications right from the start. It's not just building the most powerful AI, it's building AI that serves humanity. Which brings up another big question, and I'm sure a lot of our listeners are thinking this. What about jobs? What happens to jobs in the intelligence age? If AI could do so much, are we all going to end up out of work?
That's a question everyone's asking, and understandably so. But it's important to remember, throughout history, technological advancements have always changed the job market. Think about the shift from an agricultural society to an industrial one.
Sure.
Jobs were lost, of course, but new ones were created.
So wait, are you saying we shouldn't panic about robots taking over? Because that's kind of what it sounds like.
Well, I wouldn't say that. There will definitely be shifts in the labor market. That much is certain. Some jobs will become automated for sure, but new jobs will emerge. The key is going to be adaptability and a willingness to embrace lifelong learning.
So the intelligence age is going to be a wild ride. We've got AI changing healthcare, space exploration, but we also have to think about accessibility, ethics, the impact on jobs. It's a lot to process.
It is, it is. And that's why it's so important to have these conversations now, this intelligence age. It's coming. And it's up to all of us to shape it into a future that benefits everyone.
All right, deep divers, we've covered a lot of ground in this first segment. We've talked about the incredible potential of AI, the importance of responsible development, and the challenges, the really big challenges we'll need to address along the way. But now I want to dive into some specific examples of how AI is already making a difference in the world, things that you, our listener, can connect with.
I'm ready when you are. Let's explore.
Okay, so we've talked about AI in these sort of broad strokes, but let's get down to brass tacks here. What are some real-world examples, things happening right now where AI is making a difference, things that our listeners can really connect with?
Oh, absolutely. Well, one area where AI is already having, I would say, a profound impact is in personalized medicine.
Okay, we touched on this a little earlier.
Well, we did, yeah.
But it's worth digging a little deeper here. Just imagine a world where your doctor has this AI-powered diagnostic tool, something that can analyze your genetic makeup, your lifestyle, your entire medical history, and use all of that to predict your risk of developing certain diseases.
That sounds like, I don't know, something out of a science fiction movie. This is really happening now.
Oh, it is. It is. And these AI systems, they're incredible. They can sift through mountains of data.
Wow.
To identify subtle patterns and correlations that, honestly, a human doctor might completely miss.
Yeah.
They can help diagnose diseases earlier, when treatment is going to be more effective.
Right.
And even predict how you might respond to different medications.
Wow. So it's like having, a super smart, medical detective working behind the scenes, looking for these clues that could improve your health, maybe even save your life. Yeah, that's a great way to put it. And it goes beyond just diagnostics, too. AI is also being used to speed up, really accelerate drug discovery. Traditionally, developing new drugs has been a slow and really expensive process.
For sure.
But AI can analyze these vast databases of, molecular structures, biological pathways, things like that,
Right.
to identify promising drug candidates much, much faster.
That could be a game changer for so many diseases that just don't have a cure right now.
Exactly.
It's almost like we're on the verge of this whole new era of medical innovation.
I think we are, yeah.
It's exciting. But AI isn't just limited to healthcare, right?
No, absolutely not. It's not.
What are some other areas where it's already starting to make a difference?
Well, one that I find really exciting is sustainability. The intersection of AI and sustainability. We talked about climate change earlier, but AI can also help us address other environmental issues too.
Okay.
Things like pollution, resource management.
Yeah.
For instance, there are AI-powered systems out there right now that can optimize energy consumption in buildings,
Oh, interesting.
which can reduce our carbon footprint and, as a bonus, save money.
So it's AI helping us live more sustainably on a personal level, but also on a global scale.
Right.
It's a pretty powerful idea. But, I can't help but think about the other side of the coin here. We talked about job displacement, the potential for AI to, replace jobs. Are there certain jobs that are particularly vulnerable?
That's the million-dollar question. It's complex, and there's no easy answer.
Yeah.
But, it's true that certain tasks are more easily automated than others.
Yeah.
Repetitive tasks, data entry, even some aspects of driving, things like that are already being automated,
Right.
But on the other hand, jobs that require creativity, empathy, complex problem solving, those are less likely to be fully automated, at least anytime soon.
So it's not so much entire jobs disappearing as it is, certain tasks within those jobs being taken over by machines, right?
Right. Right, exactly.
And so that means the nature of work itself is going to have to change.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The intelligence age, I think, is going to require all of us to adapt, develop new skills.
Right.
It'll also force us to rethink the traditional models of work, 9 to 5, that sort of thing. We might see a shift towards, more freelance work, project-based work.
Yeah, the gig economy.
Exactly. And who knows, we might even see the emergence of entirely new job categories.
Things we can't even imagine yet.
Exactly.
It sounds like the intelligence age is going to be a period of, immense change. Exciting, for sure, but also potentially disruptive. This excerpt, though, it seems to suggest that we have a choice in how this all plays out. We're not just passive passengers, right, on this technological roller coaster.
Yeah, that's a really crucial point. The future of AI, it isn't predetermined. It's really up to us, all of us, to decide how we want to use this technology, what kind of society we want to create.
So we're not just talking about, algorithms and data. We're talking about values, ethics, our vision for the future of humanity. It's like we're writing a new chapter in the human story.
I like that analogy, I do. And it's a chapter that's still being written.
Yeah.
We have this opportunity to shape the narrative, to make sure that the intelligence age is one that benefits all of humankind.
I like that. So much to think about here. We've covered so much ground already. Personalized medicine, sustainable living, the evolving nature of work. It's mind-boggling to consider the possibilities.
It is, and it's only the beginning, really. The intelligence age is still in its early stages.
Ah,
I think we're only just starting to glimpse its true potential.
it really feels that way, doesn't it? This deep dive has been a real eye-opener for me, but I know there's one more big question kind of lurking in the shadows here, something that always comes up in these discussions about the future. Are you ready to tackle it?
Absolutely. Let's dive in.
This excerpt from The Intelligence Age ends with this question, and it really got me thinking. They ask, what aspects of our lives today would people 100 years from now find the most shockingly outdated? Like, what would just seem completely, I don't know, absurd to them?
Yeah, it really is a fascinating thought experiment, isn't it? It makes you try to step outside your present-day perspective and imagine how much could change, really change, in a century.
I know, I'm already trying to wrap my head around it.
Oh.
What do you think? I mean, would it be something obvious like our reliance on fossil fuels? Or maybe, gosh, I don't know, maybe our current healthcare system. It's almost like trying to explain what a rotary phone to someone who's grown up with smartphones.
Oh, I think it goes deeper than that, much deeper. Remember, we're not just talking about incremental changes here, right? We're
Right.
talking about a world potentially transformed by AI. A world maybe of abundant energy, radical advances in, well, I mean, everything, biotech, nanotech. I think it's possible that the very structure of our society could be unrecognizable to someone living a century from now. The way we work, the way we learn, the way we even interact with each other.
It's mind-blowing, really, really mind-blowing to think about. What we consider, totally normal today, everyday stuff, might seem like, I don't know, ancient history to our great-grandchildren. And it's not just the material things, right?
No, no, absolutely not.
It's our values, it's our beliefs. I mean, the things that we just take for granted today, our assumptions about, human nature even, or our understanding of the universe. I mean, those could be radically different in the intelligence age.
Absolutely. Imagine a future where these concepts like, scarcity or competition have become obsolete, replaced by abundance and collaboration.
It's almost like what we're standing on the edge of a new renaissance, a period of unprecedented intellectual and cultural transformation.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to put it.
But, with all this talk about the future, it's easy to get lost in these sort of what ifs and maybes,
Yeah.
What can we do? What can we do today to prepare ourselves for this intelligence age, which feels like it's right around the corner?
I think the most important thing, honestly, is to cultivate a certain mindset, a mindset of curiosity and adaptability. Embrace this idea of lifelong learning, stay informed about the technology, how it's evolving, and be open to even challenging your own assumptions.
Well, it's not just about, acquiring these specific technical skills. It's about being flexible,
Yeah.
adaptable, having that willingness to learn and grow and evolve as the world around us changes.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And it's not just about individual adaptation either.
Right, right.
We have to think about how we can shape this whole technological revolution at a societal level.
A much bigger picture, yeah.
Right. We have to start having those conversations, right, about the ethics of AI, ensuring that, its benefits are shared, that they're distributed fairly. We need to create a framework, a solid framework for responsible development and deployment.
So a collective effort, a collective responsibility, really. We're all in this together,
Yeah.
navigating this uncharted territory and trying to create a future that, well, that we can all be proud of.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
It's a daunting task, that's for sure.
Mhm.
But gosh, it's exciting too, isn't it?
It is. It is. This intelligence age, it presents us with some pretty immense challenges, but also some truly extraordinary opportunities. I think it's up to us, all of us to rise to the occasion and really make sure that this new era is a positive turning point in human history.
I agree. This deep dive, gosh, it's been a real eye-opener for me. We've talked about the potential for AI to transform, well, everything,
Yeah.
healthcare, sustainability, and we grappled with, some pretty big questions, the ethical and societal implications. This intelligence age, it's coming, and it's coming fast. The question we all have to ask ourselves now is, what role are we going to play in shaping it?
It's a good question. Will we just be passive bystanders, or are we going to step up and help create this new world? The choice is ours, really.
And on that note, we'll leave you to ponder the possibilities. Keep those minds curious, folks. Stay engaged. And remember, the future is not something that just happens to us. It's something we create, all of us, together. Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey into the intelligence age.